Okay, so today is your day 3 demo, okay, and we would be seeing one of the certification scenario from CCA 175. Okay, now what is this CCA 175? This is nothing but your Hadoop and Spark developer certification. Okay, if people are good with Spark somewhere like Spark, Scala, someone is not on mute, please be on mute so that the session is smooth for everyone. So if people are interested to appear for this certification after like taking the training, or let's say after working on this technology over a period of 6 months, so they can go ahead with this. Okay, what happens is in this certification. Okay, so how the CCA 175 Hadoop and Spark developer certification is organized. Okay, so it is a 2 hours. It's a 2 hours time limit which has been given to us. Okay, in that we need to solve 7 to 9 scenario based problems. Okay, what we need to solve, uh, it could be 8, it could be 7, it could be 9, so we get a fluctuation between 7 to 9. Okay, so 7 to 9 problem based scenarios would be given. So the time limit is 2 hours. Okay, and how we need to write the code is like if we are working on Eclipse as an IDE, so IDE is not provided over there. Okay, so we need to write on a REPL mode. Okay, what is a REPL mode? It is nothing but read, evaluate, print and loop. That's how we'll need to write. Okay, so we will also be using the same mode, like I will be showing you how to use the REPL mode, but let me just explain you like what are the things there and we can take it ahead. Okay, and you have to read the problems and you have to save it appropriately whatever they are saying. Okay, we need to read the instructions very clearly, because if they are saying save the folder, let's say in output folder, and if you are saying, even if your solution is correct, but if you are not saving in that folder, still it will be marked as incorrect because the instructions were given to save in that particular folder and we didn't do that. Okay, so these minute things which we need to take care if we are appearing for certification. Okay, so I have appeared for CC 175 twice. Okay, one was in 2017 and recently in April 2020. Okay, so in February the certification pattern got changed, wherein the earlier we had like ecosystems of like Scoop which got deprecated, and Hive also not much is being heavily asked in the current pattern. Okay, so majority it's like Spark and a little bit of programming paradigm, either you are appearing for PySpark developer or a Spark Scala developer. Okay, so let's do that and let's start with the scenario. Okay, so it's a small scenario which I have taken because I wanted to keep all these demos short and simple so that you will get a gist of what we are trying to learn somewhere. Okay, and if you know all this, so it will be just a expand of horizons or maybe a new way or something new learning to you. Okay, so I've just taken a small problem statement. Okay, and we need to solve this. This is how it would be appearing. Okay, I would be writing my solution over here and we would be copying and pasting. Okay, so how the REPL mode would be there, so this would be like your virtual machine or the RDP which you just need to connect to that. Okay, so I'm just trying to connect with this with my credentials. I have already kept up and running all my Hadoop ecosystems, and this is the IP config. You don't need to do all those things in your exam because that machine would be pre-configured and ready. You just need to open your terminal and start your work. Okay, so let me start the terminal. So what I would be doing is I would be using putty to connect to my terminal. Okay, let's do that. So let me enter my credentials. Okay, so I've connected to it, and let me just enhance the size so that you all will be, it will be visible to everyone in a nice manner. Okay, cool. Okay, so let me navigate to a particular directory where I have kept everything step by step. Okay, so Just give me a minute, someone is in. Okay, so if you see over here, I have created different folders. So here if you see C775, so yesterday if you see, we navigated to the scripts folder, okay, and we wrote all the scripts. If people are attending yesterday's and today, they'll come to know. Okay, so for every practice I have kept different folders to go there and do the stuffs. Okay, so now today we would be seeing one C775 scenario, so let me navigate to that folder. Okay, let's do that. And now if I'm trying to do, if there are again input and output folder, let me navigate to input folder. Okay, here I should see all my data sets. Okay, I do have a retail DB, and under this I'll be having my data sets. Okay, so similarly you will also be provided with the data sets. Okay, so you just need to navigate to the data set, identify the data, identify the schema, and use that in the appropriate wherever they have asked. Okay, so this is my data set which has been given to me. Okay, now let's try to read. Before that, let me open one more session. So let me duplicate this, and okay, cool. After duplicating this, let me just start my Spark shell, because this is where I would be writing my Spark code in a REPL mode. Okay, so meanwhile it is getting started, let's understand the problem statement. Okay, so what it is telling us, so let me increase the font size if you can, so that it would be visible to you, and let's take it this way. Okay, cool. I think this is good. Okay, what they are saying is all the order records are stored at this location. Okay, if you see, I have already navigated to this path, and we have all the data over here. Okay, so if we just go over here, okay, so this is the present working directory. Okay, this working directory and this is the same. Okay, and what they're saying is, and data is in Parquet format. Okay, so what is the file name? Orders Parquet. Okay, so if you see somewhere orders Parquet, okay, this is the directory. Let me go to that particular directory, and orders underscore Parquet. Okay, and let's ls-ltr. So I have a data set over here, so I need to take this data set. Okay, I need to take this data set and read it in my Spark. Okay, that's one thing which I got identified. Okay, now what they are asking me to do is, okay, these are the requirements, small requirements they have given. Let's start step by step. So what they are saying in output all the pending records, okay, in July 2013. Okay, so what they are asking is, we want to write pending orders which were there in July 2013. Okay, and while writing, what should be the format? The format should be JSON. Okay, so now if you see, I'm trying to read the data. Okay, if you try to see, I'm trying to read the data in a Parquet format, and I'm trying to write in a JSON format. Okay, so the reading format and writing format is getting varied. Okay, so we need to be sure of the different file formats which are available. Okay, so that is the first thing which we got to know over here. Okay, results should all only contain records that have order status value as pending. Okay, we identified that. Okay, and order date should be in a format this. Okay, so there is one more instruction to us. What they are saying is, the order date, it should be in this format. What's that format? YYY hyphen hyphen dd. Okay, so pending orders we need to write, we need to format this order date. Okay, and we need to see only the data for a year, that is July to 2013 year. From that 2013 year, I need to see only July data. Okay, and what I need to do, I need to do a compression. And what is that compression? Gzip compression. Okay, so I can see that pending orders 2013 July, output format, compression, and what they are saying, and output only columns. Okay, which means that in the output they only want these two columns, order date and status. Okay, and what they are writing, what they are telling is, place the result at this path. Okay, so let me just navigate to this path, and if there is anything, let me delete that. Okay, so let's change that. and let me just come out. Okay, and ls-ltr, and let's say rm-rf, and let's go for solution 6. Okay, so now if I try to see, I do not have, or let me just do rm, let me remove everything. Okay, it's like rm-rf, let me remove everything. Okay, now if I try to do ls-ltr, I do not see any folders. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to bring this over here. Okay, so cool, so that's it. So we understood what we need to do. Okay, and again we need to remember, we need to understand the requirement, because these are scenario based questions, so we need to solve all this within a time period of 2 hours, so 70 to 9. So you should be not quick, but at least you should be able to identify what are the things we need to do, and you should start. So for that, your hands-on should be very nice. Okay, so let's start solving this scenario. Okay, so first thing what I would be doing is I would be reading a file. Okay, so from where I need to read the file, I need to read the file from a particular location. And if you see, my file was in a particular format. Okay, what was that? Let's try to write step by step. Okay, so the first thing is what I'm trying to do, again this val where, what is that? Again, that is like a Scala part, that can be taken care later. So read, I'm trying to, and this is a variable name, it's your call, you can give any variable names. I'm trying to give this. Okay, so read orders, so I'm trying to read spark dot read dot format. Okay, what is the format of my file? The format is nothing but a Parquet format. Okay, then what I need to do is I need to load. So when I'm trying to load, I need to navigate to this path, correct? So let me copy this, let me change that directly to that path. Okay, and if you see, we need to take this file, that's what have been instructed to us. Okay, so we would be taking that file. Okay, so let's customer order, sorry, orders underscore Parquet we need to take. Okay, so let's try to read this orders underscore Parquet. Okay, let me go back. Okay, let me just paste this over, sorry, I should, or let it be, let's orders underscore Parquet, and let me copy this entire path. Let's copy this, let's paste this, and looks good to me. Okay, so this is the first statement which I have prepared. Okay, I have opened two terminals. This is where my HDFS commands I would be executing, and this is my Scala, okay, shell, okay, which is nothing but a REPL mode where I would be executing my Spark commands, and that processing will be taken care over here. Whatever the commands I'll write over here. Why I'm trying to use a Sublime Text Editor, and the same thing I followed in my exam, because once you write something over here and the error comes, it becomes very difficult to navigate and copy all the syntaxes. And if there are any changes or any errors in my syntaxes, I can quickly come back to my notepad, make the necessary changes, copy paste, and quickly do. That's how I followed the pattern. Okay, so let's do that. So when I'm trying to hit this command, okay, so it is trying to tell, okay, so path does not exist. It means that there is some issue with this command. Okay, so if you see, it is telling path does not exist, but if you see, the file is available at this location, but it is not able to identify. Okay, so as this is a multi-node cluster which I have defined, okay, so if it would have been a single node cluster, because this is the virtual machine which I have made, it's a multi-node cluster machine. If it would have been a single node, this path would have been identified. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to do a small change. I just need to write file colon double slash, and that should take care of my thing. So we just need to read the errors, and we need to solve that and move ahead. Cool, I got a data frame. Okay, so now what is RDDs, what is data frame and data sets? Again, it has a story. So let's, if you want to see the data, what you can do is read orders, that is a show command. Okay, so I'm just writing I'm just seeing the first 5 record. I'm trying to write a false. Why? Because if the data is like in a particular column, and if it is greater than 20 characters, that data got the data gets truncated, and I don't want to do that. I want to see each and everything. So let me hit it. Now I can see the data. Okay, so the data was available over here in a Parquet format. Okay, and if you try to see over here, it will be in a binary format. Let's do that, and let's try to see we are able to see that data over here, because as it's in a binary format, we will not be able to see. So let's try to verify that. HDFS DFS -cat, This is the file name, and let me see first 5 records. Okay, and what it is telling is no such file or directory. Okay, so that is not a correct. So just let me see where is the mistake I'm trying to make. This is the file, right? And I'm under orders parquet. Why it is not telling no such file or okay? I think ls-ltr, okay, and hdfs hyphen text, because that's the parquet file format. So that's a parquet file. Let's hope this command give me that result sets. Okay, so it is telling no such file or directory. That's strange. Let me just pause, resume the session. Okay, now if you see, this data is in like in a binary format. Okay, so onto the Hadoop file system, I was not able to read that. Okay, so that is fine. Cool. If that is fine, that is okay. But when I'm trying to read it here, I'm able to see a proper data. Okay, so I'm trying to take a very I'm trying to do it very easily, but in mostly like when you are appearing for the certification, you need to be very quick. Not very quick, but need to be a little quick with all the things. Here I'm trying to explain every command and everything, so that's why I'm taking time. Okay, cool. So now the data is being read. Okay, so let's try to go to the scenario. What they were asking, they were asking me, I need the pending orders. Okay, so what we'll try to do is first we'll try to filter the data so that I can have only my pending orders. Okay, cool. So let's do that. So let me just try to do filter orders, and these are the variable names which you can give anything. It's your call. Okay, let me copy this because this is the data frame wherein I'm having the data. Okay, so what I need to do, I need to filter the data. Okay, so when you are trying to filter, so the pending, okay, so let's see the data. So where I can find pending. Okay, so I'm not able to find over here, so let me take, let's say can I take 20 records? Yeah, okay. Can we see pending payment? Okay, we do have pending payment. So let me try to write a filter clause over here itself. And do we have the data like that? Because we should have, if the scenario is that's what I have written, then it should have that. Okay, so what is the column name? The column name is nothing but your order status. Okay, and what we want pending data. Okay, let me clear off the screen and let me hit enter. Okay, we do have that. Okay, so the same filter command which I executed over here, so that needs to be written over here. Okay, so let me copy this and let me paste this over here. Okay, so let me copy this now. Let me go back, clear off the screen, and let's hit. So now what is happening in this data frame, I will be having only my pending orders. Okay, if you see earlier when I was executing, yes, these were read orders, I had the different order status, but now I have catered or filtered according to my requirement. So what I have, only pending orders. Let me go back. So this is done. Okay, so the first thing is done. I can write everything in a single line, but I'm trying to explain step by step so that you understand the code, understand the syntaxes, how to write, and finally understand like how do we appear and how do we go for certification. That's what my motive is. Okay, okay. Once it is done, now what I want to do is, they have told us we need to take only 2 columns, but here let me just show you. But if here I have 4 columns. Okay, so what I will do, I will, out of the 4 columns, I'll try to take only 2 columns which is required for me. Okay, that is the first thing what I'll do. Second thing, what they have said, order date should be in a format of this. Okay, but if you see, the order date here is in a long format. How? It's like a numeric format. Okay, so I don't know the schema for this. How can I see the schema for this? So you just need to copy this variable and you just need to say print print schema. Okay, so if you see, I'm having this order date in which format? In a long format. Okay, so now what I need to do is I need to convert this. Okay, so now you need to know this is a very important point, and this is the main point of this scenario. Because to convert a date, like I know it's very easy, but to convert a date which is in a long format, which is in a milliseconds, we need to know a small thing, and that is nothing but, again, there is a small concept behind that. So I'll try to solve that, and we'll try to see. Okay, so I've shown you the schema. Let me do those two things which I talked about. Okay, so let's do that. So what I'm trying to do is, I'm trying to, let's say, anything like column date format, I'm trying to do something. Okay, so the data filter pending order records I have here, so I'm taking that data over here. Okay, and I'm trying to select only two columns. What are those two columns? This is my first column, and this is my second column. Okay, so what they have asked us, they have asked us order date. Let me put the order date over here. And what they have asked, they have asked me order status. Okay, I am done with those first thing. Now what I need to do is, I need to format the date. Let's start formatting the date. Okay, now to format the the data which is available in my order date column, that is in a long format. Okay, so I need to convert that into from milliseconds, I need to convert to a date, and there is a small thing which I would be using and converting that. It's a very easy thing, but it's an important point, and that's the main thing of this scenario. Okay, let's see that. So I'm trying to use a okay, sorry, I'm trying to use a width column. Okay, cool. Now what I'll try to do is, I need to change this, right? So let me take this column, which is nothing but my order date. So this is the column order date. Okay, what I need to do, I need to convert it. Okay, so if I need to convert it, so I would be using a small syntax, that is from underscore Unix time. Okay, so this is used like, means like in Hadoop, mostly you would be seeing either a syntax called date format or from underscore Unix time to convert your date types from here and there. Okay, so I'm trying to use that. So what is that column? The column name is nothing but order date. Okay, so just for small time, let me bring this over here so that you can see the code. Okay, cool. So this is the order date column. Okay, order date column which is there, which it is coming. Now what I would be doing is, I would be dividing this by 1000, and this is the selling point of, or this is the main point of this scenario. To convert a millisecond or a long format in a date format, we need to divide that by 1000. And if it comes to a vice versa, we need to do a multiplication. Okay, that's the simple thing. Okay, cool. So once we do this, what I need to do is, I need to apply a to date format. Okay, so just to format the date, I would be applying in a default date format. So that is what I am trying to do. Let me do that. To underscore date, open this and close this. Okay, hopefully the syntax should be good. If any errors, we'll try to rectify that. Okay, so let me copy this entire thing, and let me paste this and let me hit enter. Okay, so it is telling that there is some issue. Okay, so what is that? It is telling that, okay, so this is the error. So the first thing they are saying is type mismatch. Okay, so which means that there's a type mismatch in this. Okay, let's see that what is the type mismatch. And the second thing is found. What they are telling is found. Okay, they found the column name. Okay, what they are telling us, see, they give the answer to us. We just need to read that and solve it. What they are telling is found column name, but you need to provide the string. Okay, that's good. So now what I need to do is, I need to analyze my syntax where I have provided my column names. Okay, I have provided the column name here and I have provided the column name here, but with the select I need to do that. That is perfectly fine. But if you see, with column I have provided the column name, and it is pointing me, or it is hinting me, or giving me a hint, this is your error. Okay, let's rectify that error. Let's come back over here, and let me just go over here and let me rectify. So the column name is removed. Now it is becoming a string. Let me copy this. Let's come back, clear off the screen. Okay, so that is like space issue, so that's fine. So let me take this and let me paste this. Let's hit enter. Okay, again there is an issue. So let's try to see what is the issue. Okay, cool. So analysis exception. So what they are saying is cannot resolve status. Okay, that is fine. Given input columns are order customer ID, order date, order status, and this. Okay, so what they are trying to what the error is trying to tell us is, so status column is not being identified from this. Okay, again if you see, they are prompting us with everything. Okay, what is the error, what is the mistake which we are trying to make? We just need to keep our head and mind pretty clear and stable. Don't get panic in the certification and read the error. See how I am reading the errors and I am solving this. Okay, they give everything to us. What they are telling, I cannot identify this column. The column name is order status. Okay, let me clear off the screen. Let me go back over here and let me change this. Okay, cool. Let's copy this, come back, hit it. Okay, now I got the result. Did you see? I faced two errors and they only prompted me what was my syntactical or coding issue. I read the suggestions by them and I solved and I went ahead. Now if you see that this should contain only two columns and the date should be formatted. Okay, so let's try to verify that. Okay, so let's see first five records. 5 comma false. Let's hit it. Cool, we are able to get the data. If you see, let's go back. Is this the format? Double Y double Y. Yes, 2013. 07, that is mm. 25, that is dd. Okay, so we are able to get that. Okay, so we are very close to the scenario. Okay, so we got the pending orders. We got these two columns, order date and order status. The date is in this format. Okay, that is done. So while writing, we need to take care gzip. The format should be gzip, and no, the compression should be gzip, and the file format would be the JSON. Okay, that is while writing. But here there is one thing which I need to take care. I need to find my data for the year 2013, and from that 2013 I only need my July data. Okay, let's do that. Let's hit enter. Let's create a last, and I think that is the last requirement which is pending, which I need to achieve. So let's say filter July equals to, let me copy this, let me paste this. Cool. Now what I need to do is I need to filter the data. So simple, apply a filter clause, bring me the column and whatever the things. So what is the column on which I need to apply a filter? That is nothing but my order date. Okay, now if we see the output, okay, I do have year, I do have month, and I have date. Okay, so I just need, I cannot write like this. Okay, I cannot write like this. For that, what I'll have to do is, if I just write like this, let's say 2000, it will not give me an error. Sorry, it will not give me a solution, but it will throw me an error. So here I cannot compare it. So for that purpose, what I need to do is I just need to compare with a like pattern. People from SQL background would be knowing this. And let's open this and let's close this. Let me copy this. Before that, what I'll try to do is I'll try to show you that in this we are getting different year, month, and data. It should be, because we need to validate that. Okay, if you see, we are getting 2013 data, August data, etc, etc, and yes, so that's what where we are trying to filter appropriately. Let's hit this. We got this. Let me just copy this and let's see the data. Only 5 records. Okay, okay, so here we are not able to see the data. Okay, so this is the problem. Okay, cool. So if we are getting this problem, what I can do is I can just twist my scenario. So what I am trying to do is, because when I'm trying to filter, and that is nothing but order date, and when I'm trying to specify the like pattern, the thing which I am missing is this. Let me see the data. Cool, I got it. Okay, so the error which I made is I did not give the pattern correctly. Okay, we just need to identify the things and where we are making mistake, and we just need to solve it. Otherwise, if this wouldn't have worked, what I would have done, I would have simply removed this and I would have written a between clause, people from SQL background. Start date would be 1st of July 2013 and end date would be 31st July of 2013. I would have twisted my code like that because they wanted only July data, correct? I can write my code like that also, but I'm able to get the data. Cool. So pending orders are done. July 2013 data I'm able to get. My date is formatted. I have only 2 columns. Okay. Everything is done. Now what I need to do? I need to write the data. Okay. Where I need to write the data? I need to write the data at this place. Okay. So let's navigate to that place. Change directory. And let me do. We do not see. Okay. It did not change or what? So slash home slash f. Okay, let me go till output only. Okay, now let me just see ls hyphen. I do not see any folders or no nothing. Okay, let me write the data. So how can we write the data? We need to write at this path. So this is the variable or the which have the entire data. So let me copy that. I need to write. Okay, so that's why I'm trying to say write. Which format I want to write? I need to write a JSON format. Okay, so this is the path. Let's go to the end. Let's close this path. Okay, I have written in a JSON format. Okay, then when I'm trying to write in a JSON format, okay, I should have okay, let me just change a little because that scenario, let me say format, and let's go to the JSON format. Okay, so JSON format is done. Second thing is what I need to do. I need to do gzip compression. Okay, so I need to write option and I need to provide a key value pair. Okay, so let me provide key value. Okay, so value is nothing but gzip, and here I need to provide a compression. Done. Okay, and here I need to load. So I just need to write simply, I just need to write save. So while reading, while reading, it will be a load. While saving, it would be a save. Okay. So this is the data frame. I'm writing in this JSON format in a gzip compression, and I'm saving at this path. So I have covered this part, and I have covered this part. So, and I'm writing at this location. Hopefully, all the things which were asked in that, I have covered everything. Let me copy this. Let me go to the path, clear of the screen, and let's hit enter. It's writing, it's written. Let's come over here. Earlier I was not able to see anything. Okay, so here also I am not able to see anything. Is there any mistake? Okay, same mistake which I did while reading, I'm trying to make while writing as well. As it's a, the machine is like a newly made, because earlier I used to do in Cloudera VM, so that it used to work, but this is a multi-node cluster which is newly machine which I have built. So I just need to write something like this. Okay, so let me go over here, clear of the screen, and let's hit enter. Okay, and let me come back and let's say ls-ltr. I can see one folder. Okay, so let me go over there, ls-ltr. I can see the data in which format? JSON and gzip. Okay, if you try to read it over here again, you will not be able to do that. Okay, so to read that, what we need to do is we need to go through the back. If you want to verify, so what we can do is we can just verify whether ideally the code is correct and the data has also should be correct which is written, but I'll just verify whether the stuff is written correctly or not. So I will just say spark.read.json and the path. Okay, so let me take the path. So present working directory is nothing but this, and let me just yeah, so let's see if this, and let me paste this, and within this I can just say asterisk and json.gz. Okay, that looks good because I'm just giving the extension. I can give the entire file name, or I can give this extension also. Okay, and I would just say show me first 5 records. Okay, let's copy this let's see we are able to read the output correctly or not. Cool. It means that we are able to get the data, which means whatever the scenario was there and whatever the requirements were given to us, we have successfully achieved and written the code for that, and we have verified the data. Okay, we are getting only two columns, order date and order status. The record is for pending, order status is only for pending. The format is YYYMMD, and we are only getting the data for July 2013. The data has been written in a JSON format and the compression is gzip. That's what the scenario asked us to do. Okay, so that's it for this session. So let me stop the record.